Hi everybody, this is not Nina, this is Nina, this is Ernesto, and we're Beach Fun Bargains. Welcome back to our channel. If you're new to our channel, we're online resellers selling on Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, and Amazon.
If only you guys knew how long it took to get that intro. Today's video, we have Ernesto here. He is not here very often, but that's going to change because he is a smart one. But today's video is going to be a Q&A video. I put a question box up on my Instagram story a couple days ago. Got a lot of different questions on a lot of different things. Definitely a lot of Amazon questions, so stay tuned for that because I know a lot of people are asking me to do content on Amazon. So there's a lot of Amazon questions in here, but we'll go ahead and get started.
That's right.
So the first question is, what profit percentage do you shoot for across each platform? So I think the easiest way to answer this is in terms of ROI. With like Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, like used clothing or new clothing, ROI is like very high most of the times. I would never go under 200%, but it can be up to like 600% for clothing. But on Amazon, it's a lot different.
It's a lot different.
You can explain ROI on Amazon.
So like she was saying, clothes-wise, depending how you do it, it can be very high, but Amazon is a whole different ballgame. Typical ROIs can be from 30 to 50%, and that is, significant difference from what you see with clothes.
Yeah.
Depending on what item you're sourcing or you're looking into, you can go as low as 20%, depending on what kind of metrics or goals you're trying to do, what kind of executive bullets you want to do with that item. But ideally, average-wise, is about 30 to 40% is kind of what you're going to be sourcing for on Amazon.
And sometimes you hit a gold mine. Sometimes you find items that have 150%. But keep in mind, too, with Amazon sales velocity matters, too. If you have an item that has 25% ROI, but it makes you $5, but you can sell 10 of those every day,
that adds up.
That adds up really quickly. And also in Amazon, you're able to buy multiples of items. So that saves you a lot of time. So I was literally talking about this exact thing on Instagram the other day. Sometimes you have to look at it in regards to how much time it takes you to earn a certain amount of money, not just the ROI.
Time value of money is
important. It's very important. The next one is not reselling related, but it says, how did you meet and when did you get your pup? So we have she's not here for once. I feel like she's always bothering us. Yeah, when she hears us talking, she's like, what's going on? We have a little dog. Her name is Macy. Insert picture over my face, I guess. How did we meet?
We met online. I was busy working at the time, so decided to give that a try. And
I was still in college.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to bump into her.
Yeah, we met online. That used to be a taboo thing. Like, how many years ago did we meet? 5 or 6 years ago.
Right.
That used to be like such a weird thing to say, but now I feel like it's just like
it's the norm.
It's the norm. Everyone meets online. Funny side story. But when we were buying his car, we were at the test driving the car, and the car salesman was like, "Oh, how'd you guys meet?" And we were like, "Oh, at a bar." And he was like, "Oh, okay. That's how it normally happens. At least you didn't meet online or anything weird like that." And we were just like, okay. And when did we get our dog? Macy? We got Macy
after our first house. So
yeah, we used to live in St. Louis. We got her.
Right, and we went and got her probably just...
It was like a month after we bought our house there. Right. I wanted a house and I wanted a dog. We've had her for like 3 years now, I think.
That's right.
Okay. Cross-listing. This is from Holly.
Oh, hey.
Hi, Holly, if you're watching. Cross-listing on Poshmark / Mercari. Seems like nothing is moving on Mercari. Any tips? I'm not going to pretend like I have figured out Mercari 100% yet, but there's no sharing. There's really not anything you can do on Mercari except relist items and just kind of wait, which is also nice because you don't have to do anything. But I've noticed that athletic wear goes really quickly on Mercari. Lululemon does really well. Just activewear type brands, but I think you just have to keep listing and make sure your pricings are right. One thing that does work is when you send, when you promote the item, you send offers on Mercari. That seems to work well. So,
and I think it's also, one of the things that we learn is which platform works for certain items. So,
yeah.
always stay, keep in mind, as well as like either watch other videos or talk to other friends or in this type of business. Is definitely the different platforms are more geared to certain products. So
Yeah.
that's also keep in mind. If we know certain products don't really sell on Mercari, there's no need to list them on Mercari.
Yeah.
And that should help your turnaround in sales as well.
Yeah, I think that's important. I started cross-listing everything to Mercari, and I'm not cross-listing everything. I'm being a little more selective just because it's time-consuming, right? So I'm being selective on what I list. Do you buy Amazon returns from bulk or liquidation to flip on Amazon, or just new items from the store? We've
new.
Yeah, we've never bought returns.
Right. So returns and things like that. Like I said, in terms of the resale world, some of clothes a little bit different. Amazon, you have to be definitely a lot more careful. You have to be a lot more detailed in terms of what you're sending, quality of what you're sending, especially talking about damage. So
yeah, returns would make me nervous.
Yeah, it will make us a little nervous because you definitely, one, you don't know what you're getting, and two, you hope it's good enough to, even as a return or a used item, you also don't want to send something that's falling apart.
Yeah.
So, it's very critical to be careful, and
conditions.
We personally stay out of it. We try to more focus on new and multiple units.
Yeah. Everything we buy, we know exactly what we're buying. We've looked at all the data on that exact item. Right. So returns would make me uncomfortable because I don't know what's necessarily coming in that.
Right.
And you might not even be able to sell it. You might be gated. So
it's
I know some people do it successfully, but I think a lot of times returns come in pallets, and I don't need pallets delivered to our house.
Not right now.
We have enough stuff in this house. Right. The next question is, did Ernesto like flipping? If not, how did you get him into it so you can do it together? I know his answer.
Money. No, it was definitely, it's fun. It's definitely, the more you learn too, the more fun it gets. So at the beginning, it was like, what is this? How does this work? But as you start learning more and getting more experience with it, it's a lot of fun. And yeah, you can make some good money doing this.
Yeah, and when it started, it was like a hobby for me. So he wasn't too involved when it was just like a hobby. But then once I started taking it more serious and I started talking to him about it, he was very supportive and very, very interested in it. And it's fun too. I think it's fun for us to like build a business together. We've always enjoyed like when we bought our houses and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just always been fun to do things like that together. So building a business together is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's been a good time. And like I said, we're always constantly learning and improving. So it honestly always gets better, which is always a great thing.
Yeah. There really wasn't much convincing. I just like showed him a couple of my like Poshmark sales, and he was like, "What? Huh? So we're going to Goodwill?
Do this again?
Yeah, let's go to Goodwill." Okay, next question. When sourcing online for StockX, how do you know good shoes? Okay, so caveat here: neither of us are like sneaker experts or like really like in that area, I would say, like the hype beast stuff at all. Like we wear Old Navy, but that's probably Old Navy. But I think it just takes research.
It takes research. I mean, StockX itself has data in it. Which is things that we like. We're data people. We like data. So
yes,
StockX itself, you can already see a product and see how it's done before, and maybe do a little research.
See how similar products have done.
Right, the demand, quantities, things like that.
Yeah,
that just drive that
Twitter.
Demand. Twitter
has a lot of information, a lot of free information on releases and stuff, and especially sneaker stuff. So I think it's just research. You're not going to figure it out right away. It just takes time also.
Right. It always takes time.
Does shipping Amazon from home help to get ungated? Would that be a good place to start instead of FBA? Okay, so I think she means like fulfillment by merchant, I'll just explain it from the beginning. There's two types of Amazon. There's FBA, which is fulfillment by Amazon, and FBM, which is fulfillment by merchant. Fulfillment by merchant means you're shipping it from your house, just like you would eBay, and then fulfillment by Amazon means you ship it off to Amazon to a fulfillment center, and then they send it to the customer when the item sells.
Right.
So does doing fulfillment by merchant help you get ungated faster?
No. It's exactly the same thing. It's just
a
preference of how you want to handle your own business.
Yeah, and honestly, we do some fulfillment by merchant now. I think FBA is easier.
A lot easier.
Especially when you're starting.
Once you send it out the door, that's it.
It's gone. It's not in your house.
Out of sight, out of mind. Everything's controllable.
Yeah.
Once again, data. There's you know what stock you have of it. You
Yeah.
know all the data that's provided by Amazon. It kind of goes back now to controlling that yourself. Okay, do I
Yeah.
have enough of the stock? If it's selling too fast or
Yeah.
not selling at all? So it's we prefer FBA as much as we can, but there's certain situations.
Yeah,
where we want
FBM. Yeah, I would almost not recommend doing FBM at the beginning because I feel like you're more likely to make a mistake.
Right. Focus on just finding products,
Sending them
and sending them in, and just getting used to that habit
and
before
yeah.
you start doing the mix and match.
There's also a lot of metrics with FBM that if you're late or there was an issue with the item that you can get in trouble for. So it's just, I think if you're not too familiar with Amazon, it's a little more risky place to start.
Right.
But it doesn't help with ungating.
No. As that will provide no difference.
Yeah, ungating is just units and metrics and
Volume.
revenue.
Right?
Yeah, revenue. Units. Yeah, same thing.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
The more
best
you
thing.
do, the more you sell, the better you be.
Yeah. Next question is pretty similar, but it's about Amazon. What advice can you give a new reseller for Amazon FBA? Hard time finding items.
Just keep trying. It's you definitely when you start, you'll notice that you're getting a lot more items than you think you are. So as long as you keep searching, keep finding products, you'll slowly become more engaged over time, and it will just things will keep.
It gets
evolving
easier.
for you. It gets easier.
Yeah. I think it's also important to focus on what you can sell, not what you can't sell when you first start. No, you're not going to be able to sell Nike. There's people that have been selling on Amazon for years that can't sell Nike, but there are so many brands you can sell. Like, I think it really just takes time. We started in January, and January sucked. February sucked. March sucked. April was okay.
A little better.
May was really good. I remember May being good.
May was good.
June sucked because we were on vacation like half of May.
Sucked.
July I think was pretty terrible. August was great. September has been great. It just really takes time.
It just takes time.
And consistent effort. I think that's so important. Right now we're sending about 3 shipments out a week some weeks. And that was made a huge difference for us because there's always products in Amazon. There's always something to sell. So.
And if you come from the resale world of doing, going to Goodwill, some other stores, thrifting, that way it won't change, right? You still have to go to stores and things like that. You can try online, but obviously it's a little more difficult. But
if you're starting,
don't let that stop you either. But if you want to kind of just get your feet wet, the easiest thing is just go to stores. Go to the same thing instead of clothes. You're buying
Walmart
other products. Yeah.
Walmart, Target, TJ Maxx, Ross, Marshalls, Burlington.
Like I said, you'd be surprised what you actually will be able to sell, and that's how you start.
Yeah. Yep. Next question: do you use tactical arbitrage for online arbitrage?
Yes.
Yes.
It's a good tool. It's very powerful. It does basically a lot of the manual work that you might normally do. It takes that away from you.
Well, let's explain because we're making the assumption that everyone knows what tactical arbitrage is.
So tactical arbitrage is basically a tool that helps you locate products across a multitude of websites.
Yeah.
And through that finding of products, you can provide criteria as filters to isolate certain conditions. So you can ROI, certain price you don't want to pay for an item, certain price, and the program automatically filters through those things and provides you a list, and outputs a list, and to that list you search through it and you find products and execute. So it's a very powerful tool. It does a lot of the work for you, and it really gives you the ability to get more products with the same amount of time.
Yeah, but with it being powerful, I also want to say that it is not super easy to just pick up on it overnight. We've had it, I don't know when we got it, it's very early in the year. And it definitely took a while for us to really figure out how to use it best.
Right.
But if you are using it, make sure to check out all the free videos they have on how to use it.
Yep.
Those help so much. He showed me those one day and I was like, oh crap, why didn't I watch these earlier? But just taking that initial effort to learn how to use it will save you so much time in the future. Right. But yeah, I recommend it. It's like, there's different plans ranging from like 60 to 110 a month, just depending on what you need, what kind of
you're
searches.
looking for. So it's definitely available for different multitudes of levels that you're in. So.
Yeah, but I recommend it. Okay, next question: what category did you start with on Amazon? Kitchen, houseware, crafts, etc.
Well, I think we started. I think it was a combination maybe of toys and some kitchen outdoor stuff. It's really if you're new, it's
anything.
Anything. I said I wouldn't really
limit.
I wouldn't even give you an advice of where to start.
Yeah.
You're so engaged in so many random categories. The whole point is to just go and find what you are. And you can't really limit yourself on a certain category.
No.
Like, I'm only going to do this. It's like you need to just go out and find what you can find.
I think this is difficult if you come from a clothing background, because it's like, oh, I sell shoes or I sell jeans or whatever. But like literally, I'll sell anything on Amazon. Right. I don't care what it is. All I'm looking at is the sales rank data. I don't care what it is. And I definitely don't limit myself. I know some people specialize in different areas on Amazon. There's people that like specialize in toys or like grocery or something. But
which is a great thing.
Yeah, if you do have knowledge, like let's say you have kids, you probably know more about toys than us do.
Right.
So go check out the toy section.
Do what you can.
Yeah, if you know a certain area, go for that area. But don't limit yourself and just
starting out, don't limit, don't think categories when it comes to Amazon. No. Just can.
I think the very first things we sent in were some of his engineering textbooks from our house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we just started at home and just to look at something, because why not, right?
Why not?
But you can start with books.
Is a good one. A lot of common one to start with.
Yeah, I personally hate selling books.
We skip the book part.
I think it's miserable.
But it's pretty common, though.
It's a common thing.
It's a very common first starting on, because people you have books, or they're easy to find, and you can sell it used. Books is a common sell used. You can find that as
you can go to thrift stores and look for books. We tried a couple times and there was nothing. Yeah. A lot of Goodwills actually have their own eBay stores and Amazon stores. So
that's just our experience, but
we like multiples, and you usually can't get multiples of books, so that's why we don't do much books. How do you know what are the correct ASIN numbers for Amazon? Like if it's the correct item?
Well, so this is the part where you got to do your
due diligence. Yeah.
So there's definitely, when you find a product and you want to find it online, unless you're doing something where, like I said, TA, what I mentioned earlier, ASIN search or checking out what the ASIN matches, probably won't be a thing. What you want to check mostly will be a UPC or item description, making sure there's the key parameters of whatever product you're looking to match.
Yeah.
So product model number, size, weight,
color,
containment, if it contains so many X things or just contains one, number of them, if selling one
pack
multiple.
or 2-pack.
So that gets us a lot, where there's you gotta be careful. They're selling multiple packs. So I found this item, but you actually got sold 4 of these.
Yeah.
So it really just comes, that's the due diligence part, where you gotta pay attention mostly to, is this the right item in terms of all those key parameters that you will look at. Yeah. The models match, size, packaging, etc.
All that, yeah. Online, it's easier because they have UPCs.
Right.
But not every website's going to provide UPCs. But if there are UPCs, that's pretty easy. Right. But if you don't have UPCs, just check that.
And if you think something's off, it's best to skip.
Do not send it. Right. Do not. If you're questioning it, please do not send it, because that'll get your account suspended if you're sending the wrong thing to customers. So and there's so many opportunities. If you don't know, we skip so many things because we'll be like 99% sure, and we're like, no, not going to risk our account.
That's pretty normal. So just be confident in what you're doing and feel comfortable in doing it, and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay, next question. Do you think you'll continue to do Poshmark and eBay now that Amazon is doing so well?
Nope.
I'm going to answer this one. Yes, but it's going to be a lot more limited. We used to list 200 items a month.
Something like that.
It was just really exhausting, and the money just wasn't there compared to what we can do now on Amazon. So our business motto is do the least amount of work and make the most amount of money.
More for less.
Yeah, more for less. That's it. And with Amazon, we're doing a lot less work and we're making a lot more money than we did on Poshmark and eBay. But I do think that the used clothing market is growing exponentially right now, so it's stupid not to tap into it and not to stay tapped into it. And I also think diversification in your business is a major factor for success, because if one income stream falls down, you have others to pick you back up. So no, I don't plan on stopping, sir. But we're changing what we're doing a little bit. We're not going to be selling some of the stuff that we used to sell in the past. Like, I'm not going to, say we're not going to sell this one brand ever again, but we're not going to sell a lot of the cheaper stuff that we used to sell. So if it sells for $20, we're probably not selling that anymore. It's going to be items that are selling for $50, $40, $80, those types of things, so that the time that we are spending is really giving us a high return, just like it does for Amazon.
Right.
Because our goal isn't to work 100 hours a week for the rest of our lives.
Right.
That's just not realistic. So we're trying to build scalable revenue streams,
right.
and bringing in higher profit items on Poshmark and eBay is going to help a lot with that. So
there's a balance. There's
yeah.
a balance, but yeah, that's like I said, more for less is what we're trying to
yeah.
achieve. And
we're not quitting it. We're just toning it down. Probably
we're
50.
just rebalancing our
yeah.
business strategy.
Yeah.
And right now our rebalancing goes a little more towards Amazon.
Yeah. At the beginning of the year, our goal was to start Amazon this year.
Right.
And we just kind of left it at that. And then fortunately it has grown, I think, faster than we anticipated.
Right.
Which is great, but we're just having to pull back on Poshmark and eBay a little bit because of that.
All right, well, that's all for the question and answers. I hope you guys enjoyed some of the responses that we provided. If you guys have any comments, as always, leave it in the comments.
Subscribe.
And subscribe. But as always, we're Beachfront Bargains. I'm still not Nina. This is it. I'm Ernesto, and we appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.